Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel Top Select 10. If you're craving some high-octane entertainment, you've come to the right place. Today, we're counting down the top 20 action-packed series to stream on Netflix right now. Whether it's jaw-dropping stunts, intense fight scenes, or epic chases, these shows have it all. From gritty crime dramas to sci-fi thrillers, we've got a mix of genres that will keep you on the edge of your seat. So, sit back, relax, and get ready to add some serious adrenaline to your watch list. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more top picks and recommendations. Let's dive right in. Number 20. Warrior Nun. A 19-year-old woman wakes up in a morgue with a new lease on life and a divine artifact embedded in her back. She discovers she is now part of an ancient order named the Order of the Cruciform Sword, a secret sect of the Catholic Church that has been tasked with fighting demons on Earth, and powerful forces representing both heaven and hell want to find and control her. Number 19. Shadow and Bone. An engrossing fantasy series transports viewers to a world split by the menacing Shadow Fold, a place of darkness home to horrifying creatures known as Volcra. The story's protagonist is Alina Starkov, a young orphan who works as a mapmaker in Ravka. During an attack on her regiment, while they are traversing the Shadow Fold, Alina discovers a latent power within herself. As she is brought to the royal court and trained by the Grisha, practitioners of the small science, this power throws her into the center of political intrigue and magical warfare. The Grisha, led by the mysterious General Kirigan, also referred to as the Darkling, believe that Alina is their best chance to defeat the Shadow Fold and bring peace back to Ravka. Alina sets out on a voyage of self-discovery with her childhood friend Mal and a group of fascinating people, learning the truth about the world and her past. Setting the stage for an epic struggle between light and darkness, Alina's story becomes entwined with the bold heists carried out in far-off lands by the crafty Kaz Brecker and his crew. Shadow and Bone enthralls audiences with its well-imagined world and likable characters, blending magic, adventure, romance, and political intrigue. As a result, viewers look forward to every turn in the suspenseful story. Number 18. Sweet Tooth. 10 years ago, the Great Crumble wreaked havoc on the world and led to the mysterious emergence of hybrids, babies born part human, part animal. Unsure if hybrids are the cause or result of the virus, many humans fear and hunt them. After a decade of living safely in his secluded forest home, a sheltered hybrid deer boy named Gus unexpectedly befriends a wandering loner named Jeopard. Together they set out on an extraordinary adventure across what's left of America in search of answers about Gus' origins, Jeopard's past, and the true meaning of home. But their story is full of unexpected allies and enemies, and Gus quickly learns the lush, dangerous world outside the forest is more complex than he ever could have imagined. Number 17. The Night Agent. The Night Agent is a sophisticated, character-based action thriller centering on a low-level FBI agent who works in the basement of the White House, manning a phone that never rings until the night that it does, propelling him into a fast-moving and dangerous conspiracy that ultimately leads all the way to the Oval Office. Number 16. All of Us Are Dead. A virus outbreak occurs at High-octane High School. The infected quickly turn into human-eating zombies. Students at the high school must now fight for their lives while they look for a way out. Namon Jo and Lee Ching-san have been friends since they were children. They are two of the students trapped in a classroom and surrounded by flesh-eating zombies. Meanwhile, the Korean military work to isolate the outbreak and protect the country from an even larger outbreak. Number 15. The 100. The series is set 97 years after a devastating nuclear war wiped out almost all life on Earth. The only known survivors are the residents of 12 space stations in Earth's orbit prior to the war. The space stations banded together to form a single massive station named the Ark, where about 400 people live. Resources are scarce and all crimes, no matter their nature or severity, are punishable by death, unless the perpetrator is under 18 years of age. After the Ark's life support systems are found to be critically failing, 100 juvenile prisoners are declared expendable and sent to the surface in a last-ditch attempt to determine if Earth is habitable again. The teens arrive on a beautiful planet they have only seen from space. Confronting the dangers of this rugged new world, they struggle to form a tentative community. However, they discover that not all humanity was wiped out. There are people on Earth who survived the war, called Grounders by the 100. The Ark consists of the space stations previously representing the nations of the UK, USA, Australia, Canada, China, Japan, India, Russia, Venezuela, France, Brazil, and Uganda. Number 14. Alice in Borderland. Arisu and his friends head out into central Tokyo for some fun. After causing an incident, they hide in a public toilet to avoid the police. When they re-emerge into the street, all the people have disappeared and their electronic devices don't work. It turns out that they're unwilling participants in a game filled with deadly challenges where losing or simply making the wrong decision could cost them their lives. Number 13. Vikings, Valhalla. Vikings, Valhalla begins in the early 11th century and chronicles the legendary adventures of some of the most famous Vikings who ever lived. Leif Erikson, Freydis Eriksdotter, Harald Hardrada, and the Norman King William the Conqueror. These men and women blaze a path as they fight for survival in the ever-changing, evolving world. Number 12. Rise of Empires, Ottoman. This is awesome. I didn't know anything about Sultan Mehmed and Vlad. I can't believe Dracula family was real. Their sons were raised with Mehmed. Only historians knew all these facts, I guess. I really loved it. It's highly charged, awesome and epic battle scenes. Superb acting by Sem Yigit and Birkin Sokolu, and not to mention an easy-to-follow narrative on what transpired during that period and how Constantinople was conquered by the Ottomans led by Mehmet Roman II in the 15th century at just the age of 21. Sure, it's not too accurate on few points or some infos haven't been included, but enough to make one understands and keep one's interest and curiosity throughout the series. I'm so looking forward to the second season, if any. A must-watch. Number 11. Bodyguard. After an act of heroism which prevents a terrorist attack on a train, Police Sergeant David Budd is assigned to protect the Home Secretary, Julia Montague. Budd is the consummate professional, but finds himself conflicted. He served in Afghanistan and saw many of his comrades killed or maimed in a war which Montague was to a degree responsible for. In addition, he soon finds himself a pawn in a political power struggle, and terrorist activity is on the rise, and he finds himself in the center of it. Number 10. The Witcher. Geralt of Rivia, a brooding professional monster hunter for hire also known as Witcher, struggles to keep his humanity in a medieval dark fantasy world ruled by corrupt kings, queens and mages, where poverty, violence and intolerance are rampant. Normal humans are sometimes worse than actual monsters, and most jobs that pay well involve the darkest of human emotions and desires. Yennefer of Vengerberg is an ambitious mage who came from nothing and wants everything. Princess Cirilla or Ciri is a young girl who may or may not possess some great mysterious power within her. Their destinies, seemingly quite different, slowly intertwine in a rather cosmic fashion. Their companions include Jaskier the Bard, Geralt's endearingly annoying friend and hype man vowed to spread the word of his heroics throughout the continent, even if he has to embellish them a little for a few coins more, Tizea de Vries, Yennefer's secretive mentor who believes in tough love, and Triss Merigold, a good-natured druidic mage and trustworthy friend. The Nilfgaardian Empire's sudden brutal invasion of the kingdom of Sintra ruled by Cirilla's protective grandmother, warrior Queen Kalani, puts their lives in great danger. Number 9. Squid Game. A story of people who fail at life for various reasons, but suddenly receive a mysterious invitation to participate in a survival game to win more than $38 million. The game takes place on an isolated island, and the participants are locked up until there is a final winner. The story incorporates popular Korean children's games from the 1970s and 1980s, such as Squid Game, the literal translation of its Korean name, which is a type of tag where offense and defense use a squid-shaped board drawn in the dirt. Number 8. Blue Eye Samurai. Blue Eye Samurai is a captivating show that truly exceeded my expectations. The animation alone is a visual feast for the eyes, with stunning attention to detail and fluid movements that brought the characters and their world to life. Every frame felt meticulously crafted, showing the dedication, love, and talent of the animators. Not only was the animation top-notch, but the story was equally compelling. From start to finish, it kept me on the edge of my seat, eager to see what would happen next. It cleverly weaved together elements of action, drama, and mystery, creating a truly engaging narrative that made me unable to turn away. Number 7. Arcane. In the cities of Piltover and Zorn, tensions rise as inventors, hooligans, politicians, and crime lords grow increasingly dissatisfied with the constraints of a devastated society. With the situation on the verge of being unsustainable, two sisters steal an artifact of immeasurable power. Discovery and danger collide as heroes are born and bonds are broken. Will this power change the world, or will it lead to ruin? This is the world of Arcane. Number 6. Bloodhounds. I've been watching K-dramas daily for 5 years now, and there are some incredible K-dramas which typically fall apart at the end, or sometimes in the middle. But Bloodhounds is consistently thrilling and gripping throughout. With a simple premise but incredible characters, direction, good action, exciting performances all round, Bloodhounds has everything you could want from an action thriller. Following two boxers as they form a strong friendship whilst they overcome their struggles against an evil loan shark and his gang. Woo Do-hwan and Lee Sang-yi carry this K-drama on their strong backs as they team up to overthrow the villainous loan sharks and get vengeance. Number 5. Money Heist. To carry out the biggest heist in history, a mysterious man called the Professor recruits a band of 8 robbers who have a single characteristic. None of them has anything to lose. 5 months of seclusion, memorizing every step, every detail, every probability culminate in 11 days locked up in the national coinage and stamp factory of Spain, surrounded by police forces and with dozens of hostages in their power, to find out whether their suicide wager will lead to everything or nothing. Number 4. Supernatural. John Winchester raised his 2 sons Sam and Dean to hunt and kill all things that go bump in the night after his wife Mary was murdered by an evil supernatural being when the boys were little. 22 years later, the brothers set out on a journey, fighting evil along the way, to find their recently missing father. When they finally do, he reveals he knows what demon killed their mother and has found a way to track and kill it. Meanwhile, Sam develops frightening abilities such as seeing visions of people dying before it actually happens. These visions are somehow connected to the demon that murdered his mother and its mysterious plans that seem to be all about Sam. When their father dies, striking a deal with that very same demon, the brothers determine to finish his crusade. But disturbing revelations about Sam's part in the demon's apocalyptic plan are presented when John's dying last words to Dean are revealed. Number 3. The Last Kingdom. Northumbria, 9th century AD. A child, Uhtred, is the heir to the lordship of strategic lands. However, his father is killed by Danish invaders and Uhtred is taken prisoner. He is then raised as a Dane. Now, as a young man, with Saxons and Danes constantly in conflict, when his adopted Danish father is murdered, and he is blamed, he finds himself torn between his 2 cultures. His adventures will lead him to the court of a man who will have a large hand in shaping Britain, King Alfred of Wessex. Number 2. Cobra Kai. 34 years after losing to Daniel LaRusso in the All Valley tournament, Johnny Lawrence has hit rock bottom with his life. After reluctantly saving his teenage neighbor Miguel Diaz from a group of bullies, Johnny decides to reopen the Cobra Kai dojo, and Miguel quickly becomes his star student. Johnny finds renewed purpose in his life and a chance to recapture his glory days. But his actions inadvertently revive his old rivalry with Daniel, who is now a successful car dealership owner who has been struggling to find balance in his life and with his family following the death of his longtime friend and mentor Mr. Miyagi some years prior. As his rivalry with Johnny worsens, Daniel opens the Miyagi-Do dojo to counteract Cobra Kai and takes in his daughter Samantha and Johnny's estranged son Robbie Keane as his star students. Daniel and Johnny eventually deal with the consequences of their mutual animosity as their rivalry trickles down to their own students, and familiar faces from the past emerge to fan the flames. Number 1. Peaky Blinders. Birmingham, UK, 1919. In the aftermath of World War I, the Shelby family are making a name for themselves as bookmakers, racketeers and gangsters. Nominally the head of the family is the oldest brother, Arthur, but the real brains, ambition and drive in the organization lies with Tommy, the second oldest. He will carve out an empire for himself that will stretch beyond Birmingham. This with the aid of his family and his gang, the Peaky Blinders. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, like and share the video. Thank you.